and welcome back to Flowers Summertime Edition! It is currently basically spring where I'm at, and it is a whopping 28 degrees outside. I'm not a weatherologist, but that does not feel very springtimey to me. Something tells me maybe the weather's a little messed up. Maybe Mother Nature is a little confused. I don't know. Again, I'm not a weatherologist. I'm here to let the big brain smart people figure it out. I'm sure that there's nothing wrong with the weather whatsoever and everything's fine. Anyway, the last time we were together, the scripts for our recital, they went missing. And then St. John or St. Joseph, St. Elwart, I don't know, some guy, it's a saint. St. Joseph, probably. He sounds like he's up to no good. Them saints are usually up to no good. St. John? Why did I say St. John? I knew very well that it was Joseph. Anyway, you're not here to listen to me ramble. You're here to listen to me ramble over a classy story and make dumb, stupid, poopy fart jokes. Right? That's how this goes. Classy visual novel. I sit here and I make my dumb, stupid words over it. That's how it goes. At dawn, during my breaks, I continue searching for anything related to St. Joseph, this time without Takasaki's help. Since we've decided to keep the loss of the scripts a secret, I have to make sure no one notices. But I quickly burn through all my free time, and before I know it, class is over. That's a bummer. If anybody was going to make progress on this case swiftly, I had kind of figured it would be Erika. She can't do it on her own. She needs her friend. To go along with the drinks at today's tea party, we're having chilled warabi mochi and bracken starch dumplings. Lately, all we've been having are Western style sweets, so this makes a nice change. Your boobs! Your tits are small! Get to work! Get on the ball! What's your problem? Get with the program! Damn! Yeah, you kinda gotta be nice to get the syrup. That's what they tell me. Like, be nice, or you ain't getting the syrup. There are so many situations in my life where I have said that exact phrase. I live a very interesting life. I apologize meekly. There's no appeal in warabi mochi unless it's got a generous covering of syrup. Your offense toward Ichigo's boobs has been absolved. As she begins pouring syrup over my warabi mochi, I ask the elder Sasaki sister if anything comes to mind in association with St. Joseph. Who's that? Looks like Takasaki has competition. We did? She looks totally blank. Her younger sibling responds, dusting some fallen soybean flour from her lap. Oh shit! You know about St. Joseph's staircase? Alright, now we're on the ball. Now we're cooking. Alright, Ringo, suit up. You're going detectiving with us. I don't know really what you need to be a detective. Let's get you a Columbo jacket. I could see her wearing a Columbo jacket. Yes! This is exactly what's happening. Rika can't handle it. She gives the shivering president the same explanation I'd given Takasaki. The elder Sasaki sister parrots the unfamiliar word back.
カトリックとして最高の数形の形が成人認定だ。それには2つ奇跡を起こすことが必要なんだよ。そうだな。歴史でおなじみのフランシスコ・ザビエルとかも成人認定されているんだぜ。
Ichigo seems impressed. Her sister grins at her.
フランシスコ・ザビエルの遺体は腐らなかったとしても有名ですよ。
I'm gonna call shenanigans on that. I don't know. I kinda just maybe... I maybe don't believe that. That seems a little, I mean, unless they froze it, you know, to kind of... Now that we're gonna get conspiracy theory on this kind of shit now. Is that what we're gonna do? Is this what's gonna ultimately turn me into a conspiracy theorist? It's like, you're not gonna have a body that doesn't decay. That's bull poop.
そうなの？理由は知りませんが、死後50年以上経ってから右腕を切断した時、鮮血がほとばしったという話ですよ。
Okay, the refrigeration failed, and they'd had the body frozen.
お茶会に怪談話は
Jesus, no, we done. All right, we out. She's got the glasses glare going on. She means business. She thumps the teapot down, bringing the conversation to an abrupt halt. I don't know how St. Francis Xavier would feel about his tale being branded a ghost story.
あ、ザビエルといえばさ。
いちごさん？
違うよ、怖い話じゃないって。前の学校の先生でザビエルってあだ名の先生がいたなって。
ああ。
I can already imagine what he looked like.
最近はふさふさで容姿もかっこよかったって説もあるけどな。
そうなの？でね、あだ名といえばコミカド先輩のネリーってあだ名かわいいよね。
Our other classmates smile wryly at her statement, but nod along anyway. To be honest, I'm having trouble following her train of thought here.
そういや以前同じことを言っていたような気がするぞ。
いやー、そろそろ本当に打ち解けたと思うのですよ。だからあだ名とか欲しいかなって。
My classmates seem to think this highly amusing, and it brings home to me that the genteel young ladies who attend this school probably haven't ever used nicknames, names that come from old-fashioned or wildly imaginative ideas.
そういえば料理教室をしている祖母ですが、料理に使うパティナイフにパティちゃんという愛称をつけて使ってま
That's
したよ。
kind of cute.
へえ、道具に名前をつけているのね。かわいいわ。
The president's eyes are sparkling. She has a special attachment to her personal teapot and cups. My other classmates have the same starry-eyed looks. I can't understand their feelings in this matter at all.
ものに相性ね。本のしおりにしおりちゃんとか言うわけだろ。私はな。
ねえねえ、八重垣ちゃん、私にあだ名つけてみてよ。
お前ら姉妹には。
Yeah, I was gonna say, y'all were already Sasa number 1 and Sasa number 2. I stiffen as soon as I've said it. She regards me restlessly. It's not the near mention of Mayuri Kosaka that's frozen me, though.
あだ名。相性ね。
The sound of the president calling my name is distant in my ears as I'm led down a deep train of thought. Oh, are we switching perspectives? This is something they usually only showed these in the first volume when we switched perspectives. Oh, yeah. Why is it that church architecture is such a mess? The central pillars, the walls, the windows, everything is covered in ornamentation. It feels very confused. It's hard to get a sense of perspective. My eyes narrowed. I'm squinting around the chapel yet again when a noise echoes wildly through the space, the sound of footsteps ringing out, and then I hear a forlorn voice in my ear requesting my attention. I ask without turning around, and the timid voice inquires where Yaegaki-san is.
今日も自主練だそうよ。少し前にバスキア教諭もコミカド先輩も同じことを聞きに来たわ。
Oh, her tone is so soft I wouldn't have heard her disappointment if I hadn't been listening for it. This is no good. I can't tell exactly how big the cross is. I drag my gaze away from the chancel and turn around. Suoh Shirahane is now right in front of me. I stare at her intently, relieved that I can see her properly, that she's not somehow undulating. Her long hair is raven black, her slim, supple arms pale. The skin peeking through her collar is whiter than marble. I take a step or two forward, still looking into her face, and the trite adjective, good-looking, comes to mind. Yeah, get in line. Like, you're not the only one. It's the kind of beauty, though, that makes all the secret vulnerabilities of one's soul just ache. I can understand why my amitié partner is so desperate.
何か
八重垣エリカと仲がいいのね。
エリカさんとですか？仲がいいというより
I don't think you forced her. I think that she was pretty on board. She may never act it a lot of the time, but she's always been pretty on board.
名前で呼ぶくらいには仲がいい。
Yeah, there you go. You're literally using her first name, so. A blush like scattered cherry blossoms spreads across her cheeks. I feel gloomy for some
彼女
reason.
も無駄なことはよしたらいいのに。台本なんて諦めて稽古をすべきだわ。あと2日しか稽古できる日取りはないのだもの。
そうですね。
Shirahane presses a hand to her chest as though in some kind of pain. It's a gesture that somehow recalls the pure emotions of adolescence that betrays her acute pain.
なぜあれほど固執するのかしら。初めは朗読なんて嫌がっていたのに。
I don't know. If you give it a little bit of thought, I bet you could arrive at the answer. My words have a bitter echo to them as they fade into the recesses of the chapel. She's so closed off. I turn to leave, wondering why I'm bothering with her.
きっとみんなで作り上げてきたこの朗読劇を成功させたいと思っているはずです。
That's what I thought too. I'm sure she wants it to be a success, be that as it
あなたの
may.
ために。
Exactly. You know, it's definitely she's been searching this whole time to like find a way to help her little bookworm buddy. And this is just another step along the way where she just like she doesn't feel like she doesn't feel like there's any direct way she can help alleviate the burden, so she's doing anything she can to kind of help her out any way she can. Just, you know, again, it goes back to when Chidori was literally burying the bunny. It's just like she just doesn't want to see, you know, somebody sad. It doesn't have anything to do with, oh, I want, you know, it would be sad to see a pretty girl sad. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's literally, though Erika wouldn't say it at this point, it's like, I don't want to see my friend sad. She wants her to just put this thing on exactly the way she wants to.
私の
そう。稽古をせず台本に固執しているのがいい証拠よ。
I've probably been thinking the same thing to myself. All that about exposing the culprit, about not wanting to fail publicly, it was
なんだっ
all...
ていうの？
What is this? My irritation grows as I stare at Suoh Shirahane standing in front of me. It's at times like this that I'd actually appreciate not being able to see anything. Yeah, you're feeling pangs of jealousy because you feel like maybe she's going way more out of her way for Suoh than maybe she has for you, and maybe that's kind of the she maybe like Chidori maybe wouldn't even admit it at this point, but I think she's like wanting some of that attention to be directed at her, not to just be involved in helping her. She would like Erika to kind of be doting on her a little bit.
私のためだったら嬉しいけれど、それはきっと違うわ。
どういうこと？
私もコミカド先輩も高崎さんもみんなで作る劇を壊したくないと強く思っているからだと思う。
I think that that's also a big part of it. It's a thing that like they can all do together, and she obviously wants it to go as perfect as you've set it up. And that's why she can't let it go, but I still think a big part of it is still she doesn't want to see Suoh sad. She repeats her point again. I'm about to argue that if that were the case, she wouldn't have any reason to obsess over the scripts, but she stops me with a smile.
それに何よりアミティエと共に作ってきた劇を成功させたい、そう願っているはず
And
よ。
I think that's a part of it too. Like she wants to do this thing, you know, with Chidori. She wants a connection more than she may admit. And she's actually kind of super duper into doing this recital with her. Again, I think a large part of it is for Suoh, but I think that she obviously wants it to go right. Like the script stuff is for Suoh, I think. But I think wanting the performance to be good, you know, like she wants to kind of like be on that stage too. Like you know, like Chidori's obviously an entertainer. She's been on stage before, and Erika kind of like wants to do a thing that they could both do together, kind of thing. She adds to her argument. The words we threw back and forth the other day come to mind.
アミティエが大切でない人なんていない。
Even Erika.
私は
I open my mouth to refute it, but faced with Suoh Shirahane's deep, black, all-encompassing eyes, I find myself unable to say anything. It seems to me that she's looking through me to someone else. Suppose I'm doing the same, looking to her, to Erika Yaigaki.
もう少しだけ待ってみましょう。
I look up at the chancel. My eyes are drawn to the cross. Its form is still distorted in my eyes. It's been a while since I last saw a live dove. I spotted a dove perched on a thin branch through the corridor window. Unlike the doves in the pictures I'd seen while researching St. Joseph, something about it feels off to me. Something about its weirdly shiny feathers, its calls, its movements. Its eyes are especially creepy. It's impossible to tell what it's thinking. I watch it hopping idly around and mutter to myself about its being called a symbol of peace. Those disagreeable eyes. I think back to my falling out with my amitié partner the previous day. Actually, I'm not sure we even had enough of a relationship to fall out in the first place. Still.
なんだよ。
Noticing me watching it, the dove is frozen and is staring shrewdly back at me. We're gonna have a staring contest with Burb? As soon as my usual feline smile curves across my lips, the dove flaps off, just like her. No, I suppose I'm the one who ran away from my home, my family. My thoughts all seem to be taking a turn for the melancholy. I shake my head and start rearranging the pieces of the puzzle in my brain. I'm just running through my solution one more time before I present it.
確か子ウサギの消失の折にもしたな。
The face of the culprit in that lie. The face of the culprit in that lie. The face of the culprit in that case flashes through my mind. I shake my tousled head again and refocus on the case of the missing scripts. Oh, we're just going in. She's already figured it out. She's already big-brained her way through it. First, let's clearly define how did the incident begin. Initially, I'd thought that the loss of the scripts was a malicious crime committed by a third party. Which Polly thought was kind of a bit of an overstatement. That seems silly. I just don't really think anybody had much of a reason to be malicious about this. Was that original assertion correct? Did the scripts go missing by accident, or was it intentional? They were taken on no. It was by someone's good. Again, somebody wrote something on the damn notebook, and it was like, "Hey, Saint Joseph, this is supposed to mean something." And if that's the case, why did it happen in the first place? Okay. And then there's our other mystery, the meaning of Saint Joseph. On that note, what does Saint Joseph denote? A nickname for the place where the scripts have been left. It's not the spiral staircase, and it's not Jesus Christ's father. So it obviously has to be. So there's a place named Saint Joseph? It feels like a stretch, but sure. After I've finished putting the pieces together in my head, I give the bow that the dove has now vacated a final glare and head for the chapel. It's bow, right? When the bow breaks? Yeah, that's how you spell B-O-U-G-H. I give the bow that the dove has now vacated a final glare and head for the chapel. I open the doors noisily, looking across the chapel towards the chancel. I see the two people I've summoned here. Hey, you two were here just having a conversation not that long ago. Suoh Shirahane and Chidori Takasaki. Shirahane is smiling, though her expression is somewhat troubled, while Takasaki's usual irritated gaze is turned toward me. She's about had it with me. She's like, what's this? Are you going to tell me more detective bullshit? I'm done. The pair of them together look like a religious painting of the angel Gabriel's announcing Christ's incarnation. The archangel rejoicing in the incarnation of the Son of God, the bewildered, emotional Virgin Mary hearing that she is with child. Yeah, that's a pretty apt way of describing these two. If you're gonna put them together like that, I can see it.
呼び出したってことは犯人を見つけたってことよね。それはちょっと違うな。なら謝罪でもするのかしら。コミカド先輩を呼んでないところを見ると、大口を叩いてダメだったことを私たちに取りなしてもらいたいとか。
Going all in. Gee. What happened to the chill you had? Where did it go?
今日は随分と口が回るじゃないか。なんだ、ムカついてるのか。
Oh, look at this. This is ready to antagonize you face. She denies it, although her expression says otherwise, and then she turns her head away.
見つかったのですね。
Shirahane says, looking like she's known their location all along, and I nod.
あなた、さっきは違うって言ってた。
No, she said she hadn't found a culprit.
犯人は見つからなかったって言ったんだよ。こっちとしても不本意だがな。こいつは。
I look up at the cross that hangs above the chancel.
八代譲り派大田事件の時のような話なんだよ。
I'm reminded of that earlier case.
意味がわからないわ。
Of course she doesn't. Takasaki goes out of her way to associate with people as little as possible. There's no way she'd know the details about an accident that occurred before she transferred here.
大山明道してネズミ一匹ってやつだよ。大騒ぎして結果大したことがないってことさ。この台本紛失事件もそういう類の話だったんだ。
I look over at the pew where the scripts had been left.
そもそもこの紛失事件に犯人はいないんだ。犯人がいない？まさか自然に起きた事故とでも言うの？ネズミが台本を逃げたとか。そりゃいい。笑えるが、もちろん動物がどうこうとか言わないよ。風が吹いて飛んでいったとかもな。いい加減はぐらかすのはやめて。
I run a hand through my messy locks, preparing my spiel, just as I had rehearsed before I launch into my explanation of it. I love that, I love the idea of her just kind of getting in a mirror and going over this whole thing, just how I'm gonna present it. I gotta get this right.
さっきも言った通り、犯人という悪意を持った人はいない。だが、善意を持った人ならいたんだよ。
Yeah, like someone found the scripts and took them somewhere named Saint Joseph.
善意?
Well, that obviously came completely out of left field. I smile at my MTA partner's uncharacteristic reaction.
そうだ。簡単に言えば、白羽がそこのキースの上に置いておいた台本を忘れ物だとして善意からある人物が届けようとしたのさ。ちょっと待って。なら遺失物として。
She turns her irritated gaze on Shirahane, but my reading buddy shakes her head.
職員室にも寄宿舎にも届いていなかったわ。
とんだ善人がいたものね。結局台本は拾ったかもしれないけど、そのまま届けなかったということじゃない。
I wonder about the hostility of her gaze, but...
なあ、ハリー・ポッターの映画を見たことがあるか?
Oh, Harry Potter, that series by Hatsune Miku. Yeah. I ask her a sudden question.
ないのか? お前映画興味なさそうだもんな。見たことくらいあるわ。
She retorts sulkily.
よく映画の番宣やコマーシャルで流れる曲あるだろ。不思議の国に紛れ込んだような BGM だよ。あれって私は映画そのものを指した曲、もしくは主人公のテーマ曲だとずっと思ってたんだ。だが後で知ったんだが、あれってペットの白フクロウヘドウィグのテーマなんだってな。
そうだったの？知らなかったわ。
Erika over here being the DVD commentary. Shirahane, wide-eyed, voices her surprise. Takasaki remains silent.
だからどうしたっていうの？つまり固定観念を捨てろってことさ。私はお前が見つけてくれたこのメモ帳。
I waved the piece of paper in front of their eyes.
これを宝の地図だと思っていた。台本を指し示すメッセージだってな。
こんなものがあったなんて。
Shirahane stares intently at the scrap of paper. She's obviously never heard of it either. If the solution hadn't occurred to her upon seeing the message.
この聖ヨゼフって名前。私はこれが台本の場所を示すものだと思っていた。だから聖ヨゼフと関連するようなもの、場所を捜索した。だよな。
聖ヨゼフの階段とか？
ご明察。学院の階段も探したな。だが結局何も見つからなかった。無駄足だったわ。
Well, I mean, more like, pointless wheel work, maybe?
違いない。
Smiling, I give my legs a pat, and my MTA partner smiles her. Oh, that's cool. All right, like that's a good sign. They're okay. Like they're kind of like comfortable now. This is like, all right, you're picking up what I'm putting down when I say self-deprecating things like that. Even though that like Chidori was the one to kind of make the leg joke first, and yeah, okay, that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
この聖ヨゼフが台本の場所を示している。それは間違いない。だが、名前とゆかりのある場所を探しても意味がなかった。
I explained to them how the topic of nicknames had come up in an otherwise meaningless conversation I'd had.
ああ、そこで物にあだ名をつけるって話を聞いたんだよ。愛着の湧いた品に特別な名前をね。
I can understand giving names to people and pets. However, I had this preconceived notion that pet names were only for living things. Shirahane Shirahane's probably grasped my meaning by now. She looks around the chapel, her eyes huge. But Takasaki, still not understanding, asks irritatedly what it is I'm saying.
日本でもあるが、海外は特に建物に愛称をつける文化があるんだよ。オペラハウスなんか。
I mean, people fucking name their cars like
ドイツにあるザクセン
my
州立歌劇場。
friend Roger named like every car he ever had growing up. Like he always had a name for every car that he owned. So
も
yeah.
ともとドレスデン国立歌劇場って言ったんだが、建物の建築に携わった建築家ゼンパー氏にちなんでゼンパーオーパーとも呼ばれてる。それ以外でも最寄りの通りの名から愛称がついたり、初めて公演された演劇の演目から付けられたりする例もある。それって
She must have finally cottoned on. Her expression softens slightly, and she waits for me to go on. The cottoned on is like an expression I literally only learned from this game, and I actually used it the other day in casual conversation without even thinking about it. And then, like, after I said it, I was like, oh shit! Pick that thing up from a dumb video game I'm playing right now.
そう。私はこの聖ヨゼフが場所、建物を指す愛称だと考えたのさ。そして図書室で学院の遠隔をした。
And
そうしたらあったんだよ。聖ヨゼフ劇場。
it's a theater!
もしくは
Well,
ヨゼフ座。
why were we never shown this before? Why did they never show us a theater? I figured that would be something they'd show off during, you know, orientations. Like, oh, hey, we got a theater? I moved my wheelchair over to the right side of the chapel towards a door that's usually kept shut. The door doesn't give off any particular air of mystery. I'd always assumed it just led to a storage room. I turned to my bewildered audience.
さあ行こうぜ。地下劇場へ。
Underground? That assumes we're going. How are you going to go? Are you going to go down the stairs? I hope there's a ramp. The route down to the theater, which I had thought was only accessible via a staircase, is half slope and half stairway. Well, that's good. I'm glad it's wheelchair accessible. Thanks to that, I'm able to descend in my wheelchair without any assistance. As we follow the dimly illuminated passage down, it really feels as though we're crossing into another realm. The air is cool and damp, driving away all thought of the hot weather outside, and the way ahead is shrouded in darkness. Man, this could be the perfect place to hang out when it's fucking hot as shit outside. Although the path which I'm venturing along for the first time feels rather long, I guess it probably doesn't extend that far underground. A door similar to the one we'd entered through appears at the end of it, and I put my hand on the brass knob. Then, well, here we are. We absolutely do have ourselves an underground theater.
ここが聖ヨゼフ劇場なのね。
Mystery solved. I nod silently in response to Takasaki's whisper as I stare out at the underground theater like it's stepping into a movie set.
何の因果か知らないが、この地下劇場で初めてやった演目もグリム童話の一編だったんだよ。演目の名は森の中のヨーゼフ聖女。
And they just
こ
like
の劇場を指す
took
時、
that as the
聖
name.
堂内の地下劇場じゃ語呂が悪かったのか。
I slowly survey the interior of the theater, lit only by the dim electric lights.
最初の演目から聖ヨゼフ劇場、もしくはヨゼフ座と呼ぶようになった。
I explain the name to them. The meaning behind the words written on the note is quite simple. It was saying that the 3 copies of the script had been taken down to the underground theater. The arrow mark was to emphasize the need to head underground to the reader, just in case it hadn't clicked yet.
学院にこんな場所があったなんて。
And I guess the person just didn't like think to write script first. Like did they just like the kanji for script maybe just didn't jump to their brain, you know, in the heat of the moment. Takasaki's irritation dissipates as she looks around the theater. Just then, we hear a small cry and turn towards the sound.
コミカド先輩
Oh! She appears from the depths of the theater like a ghost, the missing scripts clutched in her hand. Was it you? Seeing this, Takasaki turns her gaze on me impatiently. No, it couldn't have been her, obviously.
犯人はいないと言っただろ。コミカド先輩には先に台本を確保してもらっていたのさ。
八重垣さんの言う通り、ここに置かれていたなんて。
持ってきた人は誰かわかりませんが、善意からだったんですよ。朗読劇の日にちも迫っている。本番を行う前にリハーサルを当然していると思ったんでしょう。
I mean, I guess that makes sense. I feel like if they would have seen any one of y'all at some point, I wish they would have said something. Surely they would have known, but maybe they just assumed, hey, they saw the note.
そうだったの。そう、確かにそうね。本番前にここで一度合わせておかないとね。
どういうこと？バスキア教諭が言ってたろ。朗読劇は年に2度行われるって。私たちは初めてだが、コミカド先輩はすでに朗読劇の経験がある。
There's a moment's silence, then she looks at me dispassionately. Well, I can't blame her.
ああ、初めからメモ帳を
Yeah, we would have probably figured this out real quick. Oh, she just conveniently left. We just never thought to show the note to her because I guess we just don't hang out with the upperclassmen enough.
上級生はみんな、この地下劇場の相性は知ってたんだからな。
相性？ヨゼフ座のことですか？
She voices the name very matter-of-factly. I may have expected it, but I can't stop my shoulders from slumping.
それじゃあ、私たちがしたことは。
Don't say it! I confirmed that we were indeed making things more difficult and drawn out than they needed to be, and Takasaki's shoulders drooped too.
でも台本が見つかってよかったわ。これで本格的に稽古ができるわね。本当によかったです。
Shirahane takes the script from Komikado-senpai, then hands me and Takasaki our copies.
台本を見つけてくれてありがとう、エリカさん。
Oh, it's worth it just to see this cute little angel smiling.
妖精よ、お前のためじゃない。
Yes, you did! Yes, you did! Look at your stupid blushing face, you gigantic dorkopotamus! She smiles anyway, unperturbed by my curt response. I ruffle my hair, my spirits dampened.
よかったじゃない。白羽さんのために台本探したのでしょ。
I know what she wants. Although I'm inclined to deny it, when I see that Takasaki's eyes aren't irritated, but shining earnestly. After a moment of indecision, I nod. Oh, she don't like that. Oh. Poor baby doll needs to learn to say what she wants and what she means. Her expression is pensive, and as I look at her, her profile seems to blur with that of my explosive-tempered older sister, my family. I left them on such bad terms.
お前、魔女の役、上手になってただろうがよ。対価を得られない以上、遊びと同じだと言ったけどな。私には。
She's trying to save it here. Her eyes narrow and she asks me what the heck I'm talking about. I don't know what it is I'm rambling about either. Still, I don't want her to get the wrong idea. I should probably try expressing my feelings more honestly.
中途半端は嫌なんだよ。私はお前の最高の演技が見たい。特等席で相棒の演技を見させて。
That's a damn good save. Her expression of bewilderment gradually turns to one of incredulity.
見てなさい。アマチュアとプロフェッショナルの違い。
There you go.
見せてあげるわ。
There's that fire I was looking for. My amitié partner's face is suddenly lit by an innocent girlish smile. That's adorable. All right, is it performance time? The day of the recital. We've been rehearsing over and over with the newly updated scripts. There's no one at the theater yet, but in just a few hours, we'll probably have a full house. Strange mood dominates the St. Joseph Theater. It's like the air is thick with tension and pregnant with idle expectation. The Academy as a whole feels like a different world, but here's the effect is taken to another level. It's like we've suddenly wandered into medieval Europe. Behind me, the theater is lit by hazy yellow light, like when the moon is shining through a layer of cloud. The bulbs look like they're in danger of being swallowed up by the encroaching dark. I'm staring at one of them when I hear a voice from behind me. Scratching my head, I turn around. Ah! You got cute. Oh my god, you got cute little flower crowns and everything. Ah! This is so cute. Takasaki is standing there, having changed into her costume for the performance. She's wearing an innocent white dress, and there's a flower wreath sitting atop her long brown hair. She's such a beautiful, ghostly white figure floating in the darkness, only enhances the otherworldly feeling of this place. Oh, yeah! It's all I needed in my life to feel complete. Erika in a flower crown. Although I'm wearing the same outfit as her, I look like a little kid playing dress up. It's more like the clothes are wearing me. I've already accepted that I look stupid, but Takasaki's brow furrows as though she's disturbed that I share the same opinion. There you go. Lay it on a little bit. Make her feel good. There you go. Oh, it's so cute. I figured she'd get pissed off at my banter, but for some reason she simply turns her head away, looking embarrassed. Embarrassed? As if. No, surely not. Oh, that's... Yeah. All right, now we're making it happen. The magic is happening. This amitié thing. It's starting to pay off. It's starting to work. There might be something to this. It's not like I'm staring, but she's tugging restlessly at the hem of her dress, perhaps because she feels nervous about being seen in this costume. We still have plenty of time left before the performance, but Takasaki's done these things before, so I'd probably just be preaching to the choir. Takasaki tilts her head at me. I hear a gentle voice behind me, one so familiar that I don't need to turn around to confirm its owner. Kamikado-senpai comes over to us with Shirahane, both of them wearing the same outfits. Rocking it. Yeah, it's a little short on her. I respond adroitly, even if it's just flattery. I address my bookworm buddy, who's squirming with embarrassment. Yeah! Go! Look at that! Man, this girl has got no problems. Erika is horned up. I don't know where she sits in terms of sexuality and orientation. The one thing is for sure is that Erika is horned up in the summer. It's about the expression I would expect her to be wearing while wearing a dress like this. Everyone laughs along with me, except for Takasaki. I pat her thigh. Damn, look at her go!
今わかったわ。からかっているのね。
She glares at me, her expression haughty once again. Seems like any anxiety she had dissipated too. Kamikato-senpai watches Takasaki with a smile as she pretends to whack me. Shirahane, meanwhile, whispers to herself.
素敵なリリースは
Oh. She looks around the theater's old-fashioned interior. I think of her myself. I wonder if they talked about a shared love of elaborate architecture like this. I move my chair forward so that I can be beside my bookworm buddy, who stepped a little aside from the group.
理由を探ろうと提案したのは私だけどな。今日はこっちに集中した方がいい。
That's what I'm about to say, but then I realize how harsh it sounds and stop myself just before the words come out. Smiling in my cat-like manner, I address Shirahane, who's now deep in thought.
緊張してるのかなあ、白羽。
適当にやれよ。失敗したって命取られる。
Yeah, there you go. She smiles, and that goes the words of encouragement I'd given her before the Feast of the Assumption. I shrug my shoulders and force a smile in return to her somewhat sad one.
はあ、こんなところあったんだ。
I'm just as surprised. Again, I thought that this was something that would have come up during orientation. This feels like one of those started writing the second game and realized, wait a minute, we never introduced a theater in the spring. If we just tuck it in somewhere and put a mystery behind it, nobody will know. Now, I doubt that this series is as shoddily written as that. I just feel that, again, that's something I feel should have come up during orientation. But that would have taken away any idea for the mystery, I suppose. Unless you just didn't reveal that it was named Saint Joseph. But again, I don't think they could have gotten away with that either.
これは緊張してしまうばです。
My classmates excitedly voice their thoughts as they step into the St. Joseph Theater for the very first time. The upperclassmen who follow after them aren't newcomers, so they quietly take their seats to the left and right of the aisle. A fresh wave of nervousness comes over me as I see the full audience facing us.
右脇腹が刺す
You're
よう
gonna
に
be
痛い。
fine. It's gonna be great.
大丈夫？お薬
I don't
もら
know.
ってきましょうか？
Maybe a little early to start breaking out the oxys.
待ってください。いつもの軽口です。逃げ出したくなっているだけですよ。
Oh.
随分と見透かしたようなことを言うじゃんかよ。私も似たような経験があるわ。でも始まれば弱気の虫なんて吹き飛ぶ。
That's usually pretty true. Is that I don't think most people know this, but anytime I do like a stream or anything like that, like I'm literally like nervous for like the first 5 minutes or so, and then like once you get into it, you just kind of go with the flow and it goes away. Even though I did so much theater in high school and stuff, like doing stuff like even just streaming video games online is just like nerve-wracking until I just get into it.
なあ、上がらないようにするにはどうしたらいいんだ？
I'm actually being half serious. I question her, hoping to elicit some tricks of the trade so that I'm not overshadowed by the professional actor in our midst.
これは舞台役者の間での秘密の方法だけど。
Is it gonna be the underwear thing?
ああ。手のひらに人という字を。知ってるよ。定番中の定番だよ。
どうしたんだい？盛り上がっているようじゃないか。
I heard underwear! Somebody's talking about underwear over here! Now that I think about it, she wasn't with the other upperclassmen when they entered the theater.
おお、みんな美しいな。まるで絵本の国の住人のようだ。ネリーなぞアリスのようじゃない
I'm
か。
surprised she didn't seize the opportunity. Yatsushiro Senpai scrutinizes first Kamikato Senpai and then the rest of us.
ネリーも素晴らしいが、高崎くんも我が師も妖霊だ。カメラを持ってこなかったのが悔やまれる。
私のことは無視ですか？そうですか。
ん？八重垣くんも綺麗だよ。そうだな。衣装を着た君は 随分と幼く見える。
Is that supposed to be a compliment? I'm not so sure, but she looks delighted. I guess it must have been meant as
しか
praise.
し、いいの。こんな衣装が着られるなら、僕も立候補すればよかったな。
I don't know. I think you'd have killed everybody. Nobody could handle this in a dress like that. This girl's too much. She is hiding a power level that is just unstoppable.
八代先輩なら似合います。すごくスタイルがいいし。
そうか
Oh,
な。
oh, oh. Did she get rattled? I think she got rattled.
朗読劇が終わった
There you go.
私のを貸すわ。
Her face lights up at the offer. I hadn't thought she was all that interested in girly things.
意外だな。
意外だなとは？
いや、八代先輩は女性的な
Best
格
not
好
to
は
make
あまり好
assumptions
まないと
about
思ってい
people.
ました
Come on, she's got a girly side too.
僕も少女だよ。綺麗な服に憧れたりはするさ。だが、
Well, we were talking about underwear earlier.
股下を考えると。
No, that could not have embarrassed you. You are not one who would show shame. She stares hard at the hem of my dress, and I start feeling uncomfortable. Then,
そろそろ開演ですよ。準備はできていますか？
Sister Basquiat calls to us, and Yatsushiro Senpai sticks her tongue out.
激励しに来たのに、関係のない話題で話し込んでしまったね。そうだ。君たちに一ついい民間伝承を教えよう。観客をかぼちゃに見立てると緊張しな。
Yeah, sure, a watermelon for a head.
知ってるよ。それも定番だよ。
Maybe because of the lead up to this, I forget she's a senior for a moment and retort sharply.
そうか。緊張はほぐれたようだね。
She smiles cheerfully, then with a bow to Sister Basquiat leaves the stage.
用意は良いかしら？どんちょうが開いたら始まりますよ。
Break a leg! I nod and pat the thigh of my amitié partner who's standing beside me.
失望させるなよ。
Oh.
プロフェッショナル。あなたも私にいいところを見せなさい。アマチュアなりにね。
God, they're so good. We wait quietly for the curtains to open. This is very similar to a dramatic reading Takasaki had announced when we began rehearsing for this recitation. She'd pointed out how each performer would do some very simple acting with their script in hand. And if you think about the style in which we're doing it, where each performer reads out the part for their role, it certainly is more like a dramatic reading. Recitations are usually done by one person. They bring to life all the characters in the story by themselves, old and young, children, dogs, imaginary creatures. Again, this is like I watched an anime about Rakugo a while back, and this is what it sounds like. It's a solo performance that someone does by themselves, and they have like just one little prop with them, and they have to like act out the whole story, and it's a whole thing. It was a very, very good anime too. Which is why changes in point of view become very important. Here, the narrator's point of view is seen from multiple perspectives, and we're taught that we have to keep in mind whether we're reading the characters from first or a third-person perspective. And it's reinforced to us that we have to speak with an awareness of the authorial intent behind the words. I don't think 2 weeks is enough time for me to possibly empathize with the characters in the story. I would struggle however long we had for rehearsals. I think the ultimate purpose of a recitation is to convey the characters' emotions to the audience as though they're their own. And in my case, the emotions I have to get across are... Oh, shit. Scared the hell out of me. I was not expecting buzzer.
神長姫。
Oh, we're just doing it, huh? We're just doing a recital. Oh, shit! Oh, we're getting treated to some real good CGs here, y'all. This is the good shit.
それは遠い遠い昔のお話です。仲睦まじい夫婦がおりました。しかしその夫婦にはなかなか子供が授かりませんでした。気の優しい夫は妻を気遣い、子が授かるように神に幾度も祈りました。何度も何度も。そしてとうとう妻に子が宿ったのです。しかし年をなしてできた子供ゆえか、妻は何も口にできず弱っていったのです。何か食べたいものはないか？私が取ってきてあげよう。いいの。そんなことをしたらあなたに災いが起きるわ。
She's juggling these three voices pretty
夫の身を
well.
案じた妻はそのように答えました。妻は知っていたのです。妻が唯一口にしてもいいと思ったのは魔女の庭に咲くラプンツェルでした。
A murmur grows through the audience. Rapunzel is more commonly known here as rampion, and the narrative explains that it's a kind of salad leaf that's nutritious and safe to be eaten during pregnancy. Eventually, the kind-hearted husband, aware of what he was doing was wrong, snuck into the witch's garden and stole a handful of leaves for his weakened wife. Finally able to eat something, the wife started to regain her strength. The husband slipped into the witch's garden again and again until... Oh yeah, here we go! God, this game's CGs are so gorgeous. Jesus, they just go all
お前
out.
が私の庭から野草を盗んでいるのを知っていたよ。
妻のために仕方なかったのです。
妻のため？それなら盗みを働いてもいいというのかい？お前の言い分もわかる。だが、すべてのものには対価が必要だ。
対価を支払えばラプンツェルをいただけるのですか？
そう、そうだよ。お前の身重の妻にラプンツェルを与える代わりに、私に生まれた赤子をちょうだいな。
You know, dog, that's pretty fucked up. It's just leaves. It's just leaves, dog. You want an entire fucking infant for some leaves? When Takasaki's witch speaks, it's like the temperature in the theater suddenly drops and all eyes turn to her. It's as if the witch herself has possessed her and is now speaking through Chidori Takasaki's lips. The audience hold their breath, leaning forward in their seats at this offer of the deal.
そして春が過ぎ、夏を越え、秋が間近になってきた頃です。約束の赤子が生まれました。ああ、本当に待ち望んだ子だというのに、私のためにこの子を手放さなければいけないなんて。
別れを惜しむいとまくらいは与えてやっただろう。約束通り連れて行くよ。
With a backward glance at the heartbroken couple, the witch takes the baby away. At first, it was intended as mere payment, but as the days and years passed, the witch started to let down her guard around the child, whom she had named Rapunzel. I guess I get to be a part of the recital now. Then, fearing that the couple would one day come to get her back, the witch locked the 14-year-old Rapunzel away in a tower with no door. She lived her life completely shut off from the world, but for a tiny window. To Rapunzel, who knew neither mother nor father, the witch was both. She wanted for nothing and saw not a whit of the disease and irrational violence of the world outside. When the witch wished to enter the tower, she stood below and called up to Rapunzel these words.
ラプンツェル、ラプンツェル、お前の美しい髪を下ろしておくれ。
Oh, little baby. She's so good. She hasn't even said a word and she's killing it.
はい、おばさま。
Perfect! Absolutely perfect! Oscar-winning
お前の髪
performance!
はとても美しい。きっと神に愛されているのだね。
でも私はおばさまのような黒くみずみずしい髪になりたかったわ。
Reflecting that Rapunzel's hair took after that of her mother and father, the witch rested over whether or not to tell her the truth. She wasn't sure if it was the right thing to raise her like this, having her call her auntie as though they were family. We see the witch agonizing. She wants to keep Rapunzel shut up in the tower. But is that what's best for the girl?
私はどうしたらいいのだろう。こんなに悩むのなら赤子などもらい受けるのではなかった。
私はおばさまの子ではないの。
Rapunzel was distressed when she happened to overhear the truth that she was not the witch's child. We see her wonder whether it was right for her to just stay there, ensconced in her tower. The heart of the conflict, those feelings of hers I wasn't able to step into myself. One day, a young prince was passing by the tower when he laid eyes on Rapunzel for the first time. He tried to reach her, but was unable to enter the tower. Having fallen in love with the beautiful Rapunzel at first sight, his desire to meet her only grew stronger.
ラプンツェル、ラプンツェル、お前の美しい髪を下ろしておくれ。
He came back to the tower day after day until he saw the process by which the witch entered the tower. When the witch had left, the prince called out the words himself.
ラプンツェル、ラプンツェル、お前の美しい髪を下ろしておくれ。
誰？外の世界の恐ろしい人間なの？
いえ、私はあなたに危害など加えません。ぜひ私と友人となってほしいのです。
ラプンツェルは外の世界の恐ろしさを魔女から聞いていたため、初めはこわごわと。しかしいつしか会いに来てくれる王子のことを大切な人だと感じるようになっていったのです。王子は来るたびに外の世界の愉快な出来事を伝え、ラプンツェルも外の世界に興味を持っていったのでした。
ねえラプンツェル、この塔から抜け出し外の世界へ行こう。二人で旅立てばどんなに愉快だろう。
ダメよ、おばさまを残していくことなんてできないわ。
ラプンツェル。
The witch found out about Rapunzel and the prince's secret trysts. At first, she was incensed. When the witch was shaking with rage as she considered how to punish the prince for stealing her precious Rapunzel from her, and how to hurt Rapunzel for her betrayal. However,
おばさまは私の家族なのだもの。
Rapunzel couldn't leave her auntie. At hearing herself described as family, all the doubts the witch had been carrying faded away.
そのものがお前をたぶらかすものかい？
あなたが魔女か。頼む、彼女を解き放ってほしい。彼女と共にありたいのだ。
王子がラプンツェルをかばう姿を見て、魔女はどこへなりとも好きに出ていくがいいと激情したふりをして二人を塔から追い出しました。
Our point of view then switches away from Rapunzel, and we see the witch alone in the tower, weeping sorrowfully. She cries not for herself, but out of regret, for having kept Rapunzel locked away in a tower for so long. We see her finally recognize how much the couple must have cried upon losing their child, if she herself is this upset. The witch's soliloquy tugs at the heartstrings and moves much of the audience to tears. I too feel a burning sensation in my chest. Right. This is her amitié partner.
そして泣き悲しむ魔女の耳にある声が聞こえてきたのです。
ラプンツェル、ラプンツェル、お前の美しい髪を下ろしておくれ。
魔女は何事かと窓から外を覗きました。そこには輝く笑顔のラプンツェル、王子、そしてあの夫婦の姿があったのです。
何をしに来たのだい？
おばさまを迎えに来ました。
私はこの塔から出ない。出てはいけないのだ。
The witch refused to say yes. Yes, this witch is her amitié partner, Suoh Shirahane's amitié partner. The girl who was always so set in her ways, who was led down the wrong path by her. Stubbornness and intransigence? That's a word I've never
あなた
seen
が
before.
私たちを思い追い出したのは分かっています。彼女の父母もほら許してくれるとおっしゃっています。
It all just works out! The prince, who knows forgiveness, even when having taken a wrong turn along the way, probably represents her other amitié partner.
だからずっとずっと一緒にいましょう。だって私たちは家族なのですもの。
Rapunzel, pleading to always stay together, represents Suoh Shirahane herself. The ideal ending that Shirahane once desired is this, our version of Rapunzel. Our version?
こうしてラプンツェルは王子と魔女と父母と共に幸せに暮らしました。おしまい。
That was really solid. That was really good. And of course, uproarious applause. A huge round of applause engulfs the theater. I give myself over to the applause, my heart trembling as I feel what Shirahane was feeling. It's been so long since this happened, I don't even recognize it. Eh? Hey. Even when she hands me the handkerchief, I don't realize what it's for. Takasaki takes it back from me. Oh.
こんなにも泣き虫だったなんてね。
And wipes away the teardrop that had been making its way down my cheek. That's fucking good. Did you notice someone at the back of the underground theater? I'm wide awake, still high on the excitement of that performance when Takasaki's words reach my ears. I give up on trying to I give up on trying to get to sleep and turn to face the bed next to mine.
やっぱりまだ起きていたのね。
Aww.
真夏だぞ。寝苦しいんだよ。
I make out like my agitation is due to the heat.
で、人影だって。
Who was in the theater?
ええ、監修の奥の車がついていた小さな部屋があったでしょ。あそこに人影があったのよ。バスキア教諭だろ。朗読している時姿が見えなかった。
She was backstage with us, I think. I think that she would be backstage just in case, anything happened.
そうなのかしら。でも2つ人影があったのよね。
I'm astonished that she was able to notice something like that while delivering such a transformative performance. It took me everything I had to act the part of Rapunzel, of Suoh Shirahane.
それで、まだ感想を聞いていないんだけど。感想？特等席で最高の演技を見たいと言っていたでしょ。
Oh, she's blushing. So I did. At the time, I'd felt like being honest with her, whereas now...
いや、今だからこそ言えるのか。
With the lights off, the dimness of the room envelops me, but my eyes are well enough accustomed to it. At this moment, with the border between myself and the world blurred, I feel like I can actually speak my mind freely.
さすがプロだって思ったよ。自慢していい。そう。あなたもなかなかだったわ。ちゃんと心情を監修に伝えようとしていた。白羽を思って演じたっていうのは。
Yeah, maybe. Leave that part out. But I think she kind of already knows that's where you're pulling from.
ねえ、どうして台本を見つけようってなった時、あれほどムキになったの？だからお前の演技がそれだけじゃないでしょ。
I hesitate. I think back to how I became aware of Shirahane's feelings and how, when I read the newly revised script, I was reminded of my own family, with whom I'm still on fairly bad terms with. The main theme of Rapunzel.
家族のつまらない確執さ。ラプンツェルの台本を読んで、つい家族。
There's a strange weight to that word, a kind of sorrow. I peer through the dark at my amitié partner's face.
家族と別れるのは辛いわよね。いや、そんなことはない。嘘。本当さ、今はとても晴れ晴れとしてるよ。家にいた時より、ここ数ヶ月の学院での生活の方がずっといい。本当？
I smile at her skeptical tone of voice, although she probably can't see it.
私はずっと家族に縛られていたんだ。
Aww.
向こうもだけどね。やっと一人に。
She's got some independence here.
あなたは強いのね。
I'm not. There's something in that script that reminded me of Shirahane, of my family. I can't abandon that. The ideal ending we wanted. Shirahane decided to struggle forward. I decided not to look back.
そろそろ寝よう。明日も早い。
A silence descends through the gloom. I close my eyes, attempting to shake off these girly
おや
emotions.
すみ、エリカ。
My amitié partner softly whispers goodnight. She says your name. Ooh, and that's the end of a chapter.
グリム童話
There's
に
a story in Grimm's fairy tales called The Singing Bone.
聞
In a faraway land, an official notice is issued offering marriage to the king's daughter to whoever is able to slay a beast thing. Two poor brothers set out to kill the boar, though the chance being the younger brother procures a special black rod and uses it to defeat the boar. Filled with joy, he set off toward the castle with the slain boar, but on the way he meets a drunk older brother. Learning that his sibling had done, the older brother murders him and steals the credit for himself. He buries his brother's body beneath a bridge and goes to the castle where he marries the king's daughter in reward for his feat. The older brother comes to live in great comfort. However, a wandering shepherd discovers one of his dead brother's bones beneath the bridge and carves it into a whistle. Even before blowing into the mouthpiece, it issues forth a song. You are blowing on my butt. I'm sorry. I'm as mature as you think I am. Oh, you were blowing on my bone! You were blowing on my bone! Oh, I'm sorry, classy visual novel. I made it about dicks. It's a Yuri visual novel too, and I made it about dicks. They said blowing on the bone, though! I promise to be more classy going forward. Don't leave. What if the younger brother's regrets had remained while his song faded away? Okay. The story that begins now is that of some pitiful girls who've forgotten how to sing. Man, they're the ones that said blowing on my bone. I'm sorry. They're the ones that said it. All right. That will do it. That's 3 chapters down. Look at us go. Cruising right along. But that is going to do it for us now. There's definitely been... I feel like there's definitely been some major progress on the Amitié front. Good for them. Kind of wonder how that's gonna eke out going forward. I feel like everybody's kind of got shit they're burying, and maybe it's time we kind of like, like the singing bone. Maybe it's time, you just start singing, your issues to one another or something. I don't know. That's what the chapter's called. Anyway, as always, thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.